Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to one of my favourite people and the only man I enjoy talking to, Russell Watson. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you? And you're actually one of the only people that I enjoy talking to because I am a miserable old man now.
We could go on that tour together, couldn't we?
I am officially a grumpy old man. When a man gets to a certain age as well, you start to notice things that you didn't notice before when you were a little bit younger. Like, if you've been on the motorway for 3.5 hours in a car, you can't just jump out of it at the end of the journey. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? You almost have to kind of creak out of the car. It's almost like you're expecting your body to go as you get up out of the side of your chair.
Are you at the point where you don't wear beige trousers anymore in case there's any drippage?
I'm very careful. I'm very careful about things like that. I mean, there are definitely certain coloured trousers that I think you most definitely shouldn't wear as a man at a certain age. And beige trousers definitely falls into that category for me.
It's taking a risk, isn't it? Listen, Russell, we're going to do a short chat today, and then in a couple of weeks we're going to do a proper chat about this new album, Only One Man. The question I have to ask you seriously now is, how are you? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. I mean, fitness-wise, I'm probably about as strong as I've been for a long time. I'm feeling good. I'm in good shape now, and I'm playing a lot of sports. The voice is in really good nick. I've worked very, very hard to get that back on track again, but the voice is feeling good, and I'm feeling strong, and I'm ready for what's I think is going to be a very, very exciting chapter in my career.
Well, good for you, because, I mean, I get out of breath playing chess these days. I'm so unfit, so it's nice to know you're on top form. And this new album, as you say, is totally different. It's a new voice, even, really. I mean, I've heard a bit of it before, but it's very different to your Funiculi, Funiculars, your Nessun Dormas. This is a sort of authentic Russell, isn't it?
I think it's safe to say that what Claude-Michel Schonberg, obviously the writer of Les Mis, and he produced the record as well. And I think he's actually drawn something from me that hasn't been drawn out before in the stages of production while we've been making the record. And I think it's probably, if I was to be honest, this is probably the voice that reflects really who I am.
Here's my review of it. I think it's stunning. I think it's moving. Here Comes the Morning is one of the most beautiful songs I think I've ever heard. I Miss You, My Dear, which is track 5, is so upbeat and fun. And then we get to My Love and I, which I think is probably the greatest track on the album. It's just so lovely, and it's so authentic to what they do. I mean, these are the guys behind Les Mis and Martin Guerre and shows like that. They know how to write a tune, and you know how to sing them. It's almost the perfect alchemy, isn't it?
It was an amazing procedure. I'm glad you picked My Love and I. The lyric was written by a chap called Charles Hart. He's quite well known as well because he wrote the lyrics for Phantom of the Opera. And it's one of the most beautiful lyrics that I've ever sung. It's a stunning song. I mean, felt so privileged to be involved in such an incredible project, I have to tell you. I mean, the music is absolutely beautiful. You're right, Here Comes the Morning is stunning orchestration and just beautifully executed music.
When you're stood there next to a piano and Schonberg and Boublil are there with you, do you pinch yourself and think, why me? Because, I mean, they've turned down literally everybody else. There's some big stars in music who have come to them and they've said, no, thank you. To you, they said, yes, please. What an amazing compliment.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very broad story, a long story how it all came about, but kind of in a nutshell, Claude-Michel liked the fact that because he's a very, very artistic human being, he's incredibly focused on the task that he's dealing with at the time, but he's quite complex in the way he works things and the way he sees things. And I think he liked the fact, believe it or not, that I'd had so much triumph and tragedy in my life. He liked the fact that I'd seen both sides of the scale of life. I'd had some amazing things, amazing but I'd also had some catastrophic moments in my life and career to come back from. And I think he really related with that, and he wanted somebody that he could work with that hadn't just had, you know, an easy route in life, somebody that could make an association with the subject matter.
And as you say, we're going to talk about this more next time, but I mean, what a 15 years it's been, going from being the no man who's doing the clubs, fighting to be the #1 in the charts, becoming one of classical music's greatest artists ever, and I truly believe that's the case. Then, of course, the medical stuff, and here you are sort of coming out the other side. And I guess that what this album does, it reviews your life, doesn't it, really? It talks through the highs and lows, it talks through the love and the loss, and the pain and the anguish, and of course the fear. That's one of the things I got from the album, how terrifying it must be to have daughters and think that you might not be here tomorrow. I mean, you really embrace that within this album.
There's a lot of the songs that when I was in the studio and I was singing them, and Claude-Michel was very, very keen to focus on the fact that I should switch off from the environment that I was in and actually really embed myself in the essence of the music and the subject matter with regards to the lyrics. And because I was so heavily embedded into actually the moment, the music and everything that kind of Claude-Michel was wanting, there were times where I couldn't get past the first sentence of songs because I was just bawling like a baby, because the music was just engrossing me so much that I actually found some of the process of recording the music quite difficult, because I was really kind of, you know, there was an instance where there was one of the songs in particular where it's about the birth of a child, and I was singing the song as you know, as I saw it as notes on a piece of music, and then Claude-Michel came into me and he said to me, I want you to imagine that you're holding your first child in your arms, this beautiful creation. You look into the eyes of the child and you see the reflection of your own soul. It's the most amazing moment in your life to date. You are holding this new creation in your arms. And to do that, and to take yourself out of the real world and out of the studio and forget about a microphone standing in front of you and the fact that the people in a room pressing a record button is something that takes a lot of time. But what Claude-Michel did really well was he helped me kind of materialize away from the real world and really kind of get myself involved and heavily into the subject matter.
Listen, I don't think you've ever sounded better than you do in this album. It's so moving, it's so beautiful, it's so well made. The orchestration is just delicious. The sound of the album on a beautiful system is incredible and thrilling. We're going to talk about this more in a couple of weeks. Let's give the plug then to the album. It's called Only One Man. It's in your stores from the 11th of November. You can pre-order now on Amazon, of course. The question we've got to ask is, just very briefly, you're going to take this on the road. Will you perform it as a play in character, or will it still be Russell? Because it is a play, isn't it? I mean, this is a musical waiting to be staged.
Yeah, it will still be me on the stage. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all the rest of the stuff, and a little bit of humour and a little bit of, you know, a few tears and a bit of laughter and the usual thing that the fans would expect from one of my concerts. But it's being produced by Claude-Michel, the concert tour, and his son Thomas Schonberg is also heavily involved in the production. But it's going to run a little bit like a story. And when we talk next, I'm going to tell you about some of the things and some of the ideas that Claude-Michel has had and how he's going to construct the record in the context of the musical as well.
Congratulations on it. It's such a stunning album. It's called Only One Man. Get it in November. We'll talk as soon as it's released. And no beige trousers for either of us. We don't want to risk that, do we?
It's the shorts that are the big problem.
Oh, your poor little hairy legs. Occasionally a glimpse of light. Nobody needs to see those little things, do they? Like two woodbines sticking out of a packet.
Actually not bad, actually, for an older man. I'm quite proud of my pig. muffins, my dear.
You know what? I'll let your girlfriend enjoy those. I'll stick to the album. Russell Watson's new album, Only One Man, is out now. Get it on Amazon, pre-order it there, and you're going to love it. Another track that I adore that's a cover on here. We're going to talk about, of course, Bring Him Home next time, but Live With Somebody You Love from Martin Guerre, which I saw years and years ago. It should have been a bigger hit than it was, but it's a stunning song and a great duet. We'll talk about that next time because it's in a league of its own. Congratulations, Russell.
Thanks, Alex.
Always nice to talk to you. See you next week.
You too. Look forward to it.